might not be totally apparent or clear. So this seamless build, deploy, test process, we can use, using the automated build features, we can run this build, deploy, test process. So we can do a nightly automated build, and we can provision and deploy this build to a team lab environment, which we know will require a web server, an app server, several clients, so we can run the test. And we run through automated test packs that feature things like unit tests, amongst other items, so that we can give this new build a real rigorous testing, so that when the testers come in the morning, we know that we have a stable environment that's ready for manual testing. It's not going to fail on the first step of any test, which is something sometimes that can happen. We can play around with this virtual environment as much as we want, and using snapshots, we can restore the environment to whatever stage that we need it to. So, nearly done here. Just briefly want to talk about the dashboard. I've spoken about how the devs and testers will work closer together, but how are we going to bring business people closer and monitor that we're keeping the project on track? So we can do this using dashboards. When a team project is created, you can get a number of default reports and dashboards built for you, so you can see what is going on. You can customize the dashboard as much as you need to, out of the box, to do what you like about this. Using Agile Scrum methodology, we can see user stories, we can see a burn-down chart, all these automatically created so that you can see the remaining work schedule and how we're going with this iteration, whether we're on track or whether we're slightly behind. So the quality dashboard is a particular dashboard using SharePoint services that's pertinent to testers. We can see things like a test plan progress, and which we can pass to management. These can be generated as reports as PowerPoint or Excel. We can email to the management, or we can point people to this dashboard, which they can do through the web services, and they can see different builds, past failure statuses, where the builds are failing, so we can see particularly where the issues are. The bug progress report displays the bugs that are open, the bugs that are resolved, what bugs are open, and we can see whether this project is on track. And quality of fixes as well. If particular bugs are keep on coming back again, and regression problems, we can see that the issues just really aren't being fixed properly. So that takes us to the end of my presentation on Microsoft Test Manager. I think we've just about got some time for some questions. So if anyone's got any questions in particular that they need answering, I'm here. We can use, I think, the question and answer. All right.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you very much for that. Basically, as Richard did say, we are now taking questions. So if you do have any questions on the presentation that you just seen from Richard, please do type it on our Q&A pod. We will aim to answer a few of them. Basically, if we don't have time, we will try and answer them or take them offline, and Richard will email it to you directly, or I will. So it's either one of us, basically. So please do type in your question if you do, and then hopefully we'll try and answer some of your queries that you have regarding Visual Studio 2010. We aim to answer them, or Richard will aim to answer them, not me, because I'm not that technical, but in that sense. But we will try and answer them if we can. But I think we do have one question for you, Richard. There's one question from a participant called David. The question is, could you elaborate on how the dashboard and reports work? So, Richard?
Yeah, sure. So the dashboards and reports, they can be accessed through Test Manager. On the Testing Center tab, there's an Organize tab, which you can get to a particular area where it stores all the dashboards and reports. These reports and dashboards are created automatically when you create your team project. It uses SharePoint services and your SQL database in order to create these reports automatically. You don't actually need to do anything. It's just created there. It uses SharePoint server, as I've said, and if you have a CMMI type of team project, there's different requirements, and if you use the Agile Scrum, then there's user stories, burn-down charts, etc., etc. The different types of SharePoint services that you have available determines the different types of dashboards that you have available. But the fact that these things are pre-prepared for you when you create your project, it gives you a quick, simple view of how things are going. You can create other work items in there as well. Bugs can be created in there, and you can see items that you've created in Test Manager, as well as other items that other people may have created in the clients. A lot of them are available as a lot of the reports are available as Excel downloads, which are very useful. They can break down the testing effort onto a daily basis, so you can see what tests were run and who ran particular tests, and the pass rate and the failure rate. So it's far easier to report quickly to management any information. In fact, they can go and view them themselves if they really want to. It's that thing of bringing everyone closer together. I'm sure we've all worked on projects where we've, there's been one bug tracking tool used for developers and another bug tracking tool used for testers, and a bug is raised perhaps by a tester, and the developer has to log on and take a look in the bug tracking tool used by the testers, and they have to go to whatever tool they're using as a developer and create the bug there, so they have a work item to report and track there, and then maybe the project manager will have another bug report that they'll have to send off to senior management perhaps. So this whole duplication of effort sometimes within project development, it can be time wasting, and the metrics given can't always be accurate. Other times, other user stories are stored in different tools. It can be very, very difficult to follow something seamlessly, especially in the Scrum methodology, as we saw a lot of people working together. So the reports and the dashboards are a really good way of conveying information from a single central point.
Perfect. Thank you, Richard. I've got a question from Etienne Smith. Sorry if I mispronounced your name. The question is there specific virtualization software required to create virtual machine? Richard?
I think kind of, yeah. Well, with SCVMM, which we saw earlier, was kind of the dashboard that you would use to create the virtual machine. Hyper-V is a layer between the virtualized operating system and the hardware, so that we can create a particular type of virtual machine. Hyper-V, they're both very powerful and very reliable. All the virtual machines that we saw on the SCVMM were created using SCVMM and Hyper-V. You need the ISOs as well, for the particular operating system that you're running, and you need to have a powerful box in order to run all these virtual machines. But it doesn't have to be Hyper-V. I think there's other products that you can use, but generally, in order to bring everything together, and in my experience with Hyper-V, then it just makes sense to stick with the products that all develop together, intended to work together. So I hope that's kind of answered your question there.
Lovely. Thank you, Richard. I think we'll take 2 or 3 more questions if we have time, just a couple more minutes. I have a question, Richard, from Anil. Question is, how are requirements and tests mapped together?
Requirements and tests are mapped together. We saw earlier that the requirements were on the left-hand side of the testing center, and the tests were on the right-hand side. So as a requirement comes in from the business, we enter the particular requirements within that requirement pane underneath a particular test suite, and then we write the test cases underneath on the right-hand side. So it's like a tree branch structure there, coming from the very top all the way down to the all the way down to the test cases. These requirements